morning, everybody. It is Tuesday, November 22nd, 2022, and here is your reading of the day. I'm going to start off with an oracle card from the Sacred Spirit cards from Anna Stark. We're going to be using these all week long, so it'll give you guys kind of a chance to see some of these cards, what they're all about if you're not familiar with them. When I shuffle these cards, I'm going to ask the angels to protect us. I'm going to ask the spirits of the land and my home to surround us. And I'm going to ask our ancestors to give us wisdom. What do we need to know today, spirits? What do we need to know? We need to know, dark night of the soul. Life brings new meaning. Dark night of the soul. Man, you know, everybody at some point in their life goes through the dark night of the soul. It is a very, very challenging time. Physically, spiritually, mentally, it is a dark place that we go through. You know, it's the dark valley that we have to travel through, that everyone has to travel through in their lives. And when you've been through it, once you come out on the other side of the dark night of the soul, oh my gosh, you have such a deeper and more profound appreciation for life and everything that's involved with it. You know, you come out the other end really appreciating the light. And if you've never noticed the light before, you will absolutely notice the light after you go through the dark night of the soul. And I feel like it's just a part of our human journey. It's part of our, you know, we're here. Katie Moonchild, my friend, my dear, dear friend and sister, she tells me all the time that, you know, this is a classroom. Our life here on earth is a classroom. And I completely agree with that. There are so many things that we have to learn in this lifetime so that when we progress on to the next, we go there kind of fully armored with everything that we need to know intuitively to help us on the next leg of the journey, you know? So we do have to go through these dark times sometimes, you know? I think that there's one really heavy-duty dark night of the soul that happens to everyone in their life, but there's all kinds of little dark times that, you know, creep up on us. And right now, because we're getting into, you know, the darkness of winter, and I think everyone kind of has the tendency to be a little bit more introspective during the dark season. You know, that might have an effect on whether or not you start to experience the dark night of the soul. But I want you to know that when you're going through it, that you do come out the other end okay. You have to keep the faith and you have to keep focusing on the light as you go through this. And because when you come out on the other side, you're going to be such a more mature, wise, patient, empathetic individual, you know, as long as you learn the lessons that are being taught to you during that time. If you fight it and you don't try to learn the lessons you need to learn, well, what you come out on the other side might not be quite so good. But yeah, so let's get a clarification card from the Guardians of the Night Tarot deck by MJ Cullinane. Love this deck. I love animals, so I really feel a connection to these cards. You know, I am somebody who believes that every single animal on this planet has something to teach us, you know, and when you pay close attention to patterns with animals, you start to see things. Like, for instance, if I see a red-tailed hawk, I know I'm getting news. You know, if I see a peregrine falcon, I know that it's kind of a harbinger of something that I need to brace for impact for, you know. And I have a good story about that, I can tell you. I just recently had a peregrine falcon almost hit my front window. And the very next day, I got told that I have to be tested. I might have uterine cancer. Now, since then, I've discovered that I do not have uterine cancer. I do have all the precursor to uterine cancer. So tomorrow I'm going for a biopsy. So if you guys can hold space for me, I would really appreciate that. Just say some prayers for me and ask to guide the doctor's hands and help them discover the best way to treat me so that I do not get cancer. That would be fantastic, you guys. I'd really appreciate that. Okay, so let's get a clarification card now. It is the King of Pentacles depicted by the big cash cow. Look at that. That cow looks like it's got it going on. I think that that's awesome. Well, when I see the King of Pentacles, of course, I think of leadership, and I think of a very steady, trustworthy individual, somebody who is wise, who's worldly wise, let's put it that way, who's wise about the things of this world, you know? Maybe not so much spiritual depth, but somebody who's been through a lot. Somebody who's been through a lot, and because they've been through a lot, they kind of have this older, wiser understanding of the things of this world, you know? And maybe when you're going through the dark night of the soul, it's good to have somebody like that. Somebody who's been through it all, who understands what you're going through. Somebody that you can trust, that you can talk to help you get through that dark time, you know? So it might be time to seek that person out, you know? And it's amazing how sometimes those people show up in the strangest of places. If you would have told me 12 years ago that some of my very best friends on this earth, not only my best friends, but some of my people who I consider sisters, people who I consider spiritual advisors, if you would have told me that I was going to meet them on YouTube, I would have told you you were crazy. But that's exactly what happened, you know? So if you're going through the dark night of the soul, don't be afraid to reach out and talk to somebody, especially in this community, who understands that these dark night of the souls situations happen, that it is something that you have to go through, and can help encourage you and guide you through that. Be a light, you know, be the light for you. So on that note, let's pull a high vibe card. Let's pull a high vibe card. And let's look at what Kyle Gray is going to tell us today with a high vibe card. Believing is seeing. Yes. Watch for the miracles around you, guys. Don't turn yourself off or turn off your brain to miracles. I know that in this world of tech, we have the tendency to do that, but yeah, keep your eyes open for all those beautiful miracles. That's something that can help you get through the dark night of the soul too. You know, when you come to a realization that your life is full of miracles, little tiny miracles all over the place, you start to believe. And that believing is the first step to getting out of that dark, dark place. You know, you don't need to stay here. You don't. Because life brings new meaning. It absolutely does. All right, you guys, I love you. I hope you all have a great day. I will see you all again tomorrow for another card of the day. And I am going to be recording that video right now after this one, because I'm going to be in surgery tomorrow. So again, please pray for me, you guys. And I will see you all again on Thursday. All right, take care, everybody. Love you. Bye-bye.